Yeah, probably.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Droid Life Show, episode 26 tonight. I'm your host, Kellen. Rest of the Droid Life team here with us. Tim, Ron, and Eric. Everybody say hi real quick.
What's going on, guys?
Hello.
Hello, hello.
So, big news happened, dropped just about an hour or so ago. Motorola X phone, Moto X. Dennis Woodside, CEO of Motorola, confirmed it at All Things D's D11 conference. It's official. So let's see. What did he say exactly? He broke it down as far as we dropped most of our crappy phones out. We're not doing those anymore. We've got a handful of phones that are going to come out between now and October. One of those is a hero device. He called that the Moto X. And he said he had a phone in his pocket. So, but he wouldn't show it, obviously.
Yeah, he didn't want to do that.
Yeah, so he wouldn't take it out, but he said he had one in his pocket. He talked about how they possibly put some either advanced sensors in or some new sensors that no one's used before that know sort of what you want to do before you want to do it. Sounds almost like Google Now, but with a sensor. Like he talked about if I pulled my phone out, like there's a sensor that would know, like I just pulled my phone out and it would either turn on or wake itself or something like that. But he said this X phone, their hero device, they're going to build it in the U.S. Obviously, they're going to source parts from outside the U.S., but they're going to build it in Texas. They're going to hire about 2,000 people, set up some 500,000 square foot facility, and make this thing and distribute it essentially on every major carrier in the U.S. I don't know that he necessarily said how it's going to go down outside of the U.S., but yeah, it's official. X phone. Although he did say multiple devices from now until October. So the hero device, not until probably October, but we're going to get something before then. We're pretty sure that's the X phone spelled with the F, which is the mid to low range device that we also are pretty sure is coming to a number of carriers, at least Sprint, Verizon, and AT&T. That's mid range, but if it has new sensors or whatever Motorola has been working on, it still could be worth at least a look. We've got to assume that's coming out soon. It's hit the FCC a number of times, things like that. So we'll probably get that phone first, then the hero device later on. So I'll just go around and hear what are you guys like? Just initial thoughts now that it's confirmed. Everything he said, Texas, building in the U.S., multiple devices, all that stuff. Tim, what were your thoughts when you initially heard this news?
I'll believe it when I see it. Kind of. I mean, we've been talking X phone forever, and then one of the internet's personalities, MKBHD, just said like the unicorn or the X phone is a unicorn basically, and it was just kind of like something that you would never really see. It was just like a mixture of rumors and speculation, all this stuff. And now that he says it's real, it's kind of like hard to almost believe, even coming from Woodside. So we'll see. I am optimistic for what they can bring because I love Motorola hardware. We'll see if they can get the software right as well. And yeah, I'm excited.
Ron, got any thoughts? If you had a chance to see it, look at it, read all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same place as Tim. I mean, until we see the actual hardware design and the actual specs and the actual software, it doesn't really mean anything. So, I mean, I can claim that I have a special phone in my pocket too, but that doesn't really prove anything. So,
Ew, sick, Ron.
I've got something for you in my front pocket.
That the X
Why don't
phone,
you
or
reach
you just
inside and see what
happen
it
to be
is?
It's probably a Palm device.
It's just laundry day.
Eric, what do you think about the X phone announcement, if you can even call it that?
Wasn't there an HTC phone that came out like a year and a half ago that had a pocket sensor or something, and it just didn't work well?
Well,
I can't
HTC
remember.
phones for a while, if they apparently know when they're in your pocket, so the ringer will get louder, something like that. Like there's a setting in most HTC phones now where you can tell them like, I'm gonna have this in my pocket. I'll look.
That was the
You just
first thing
whisper
that came
that
to
sweetly
mind.
to your phone.
Yeah,
Going into my pocket.
going into my pocket.
That's what you do.
That was the first thing that came to mind when he said that, and it just kind of, stewed in the back of my head for the rest of the time that he was talking. But, I mean, yeah, kind of what Ron said. You can say that you have a phone in your pocket that's going to blow everybody's minds, but, you can talk a big game, but I just want to see what it looks like. The phone, not whatever else is in his pocket.
Right. By the way, it's called Pocket Mode, and it is on HTC phones, and it increases ring volume while in your pocket or bag. Now that that's out of the way. So he also said that. So Walt Mossberg, was drilling it with questions, and he said, "Are you confident that your new products are going to move the needle?" And he said, "The products we're going to ship throughout the fall, they are unlike any other thing out there." So confident. I'm assuming you would have to be confident if you're the CEO of a pretty major company, but I guess it was a good teaser. It got me thinking. It got me going, what the hell is he doing? What do you mean sensors? What are we going to see? How good is this hero device going to be? That's awesome. You guys are building in Texas. Yay, USA. But we're still going to see a small mid-range device first, and that's probably going to disappoint everyone, unfortunately. And we have seen the design of that phone, and it looks okay. It kind of looks like a Nexus. It doesn't look like Motorola of the past, which is good. That means no Kevlar.
The X Phone.
Yeah, the X Phone.
F for fake X phone.
What are you talking about? It's so real. It's legit.
Well, it's not the hero device coming later.
No, that is not the hero device.
Yeah.
Sorry, hero devices can't have dual cores and less than 720p displays. That's not possible.
Yeah.
Which is so ridiculous. Like, the idea that we're calling that phone mid-range is absolutely insane.
Oh, that thing's a piece of crap.
You could almost call this thing low range. Like it's like a Snapdragon S4
Yes.
Pro dual core. It's not even as good of a processor as in the Nexus 4.
Yeah, it's
like
not the S4 Pro or anything like that.
Well, it's an S4 Pro, but it's the dual core version of
Right.
it. So it's like it's
Not the
probably
core.
not even as good as the processor in the HTC First, which is kind of sad. But it does have a 720p display, probably 2 gig of RAM, whatever. But yeah, so we're getting that one
For most
probably
Android
first.
users, that's more than enough.
Yeah.
And depending on what they do software-wise, maybe it doesn't need much. I'm not really sure. It better be free, though. It better be free on contract, and then like $450 full retail or something like that. Otherwise,
I think
don't know why.
it'll probably be 100 on contract, if I had to guess.
Yeah,
For like
it probably
a week,
will
like the
be.
first.
Yeah, really.
Free 99.
So, anyways, that happened. That was like the only real big news so far to come out of D11, unless you care about anything that Tim Cook said in his boring drawl last night.
Something big's coming. iOS 7.
I'm sorry, it was the most boring interview I've ever listened to. He wouldn't say anything, which I know he doesn't want to. He's saving it for WWDC, but he just kept going, yeah, I don't want to say that right now. Okay, Tim. Thanks for coming.
Yeah. He's not as good at...
No, go ahead.
Okay,
No,
I was just going
No,
to
go
say he's not as good at deflecting as Jobs is. Jobs would change the topic, and he just says, I'm not going to talk about that, which makes you think that maybe there's something to it. Just not a good way of deflecting.
No, it's not at all.
Yeah, but he was a COO. He did a great job at that, but he's not, he doesn't have the charisma that Jobs did.
No, he definitely doesn't.
Cook.
Oh,
I appreciate the whole made in United States thing, but the Nexus Q also had that when it got announced, and that only
Yeah.
carried the device so far.
They made all 5 of them in the United States.
Yeah.
The problem is they're all handmade.
What are we back to? We're back to the Moto phone? Or are we back on talking about
yeah, we're back
phones?
to Moto phone.
Yeah, that was
Built
the
in
last
the
thing.
US.
What?
I think
Oh.
Apple claims
Right.
they built something in the US, but I don't think anyone knows what it is.
Made in China,
is it
designed
the
in
Mac
Cupertino.
Are they making the Mac Mini in Texas? I don't know.
It's something.
Why is everything made in Texas?
I don't know.
Why
Texas
not?
is-
It's a big old state. You can put the big plants there and stuff,
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
Well, Dell
That's
used to
what
do...
all the chip makers are there too.
All the
You
chip
gotta
makers
look
Oh,
are
yeah,
at
that's
there.
true.
And Dell used to do all of their manufacturing out there, so it could just be people are buying out
Yeah.
their old plants.
I forgot that all the chips were made down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right, anyways, Motorola X phone, it's official, sort of, coming sometime before October. That's what we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was quite a few decent announcements for Google related anyway today. Like we got new Gmail announcement, though it's not out yet. Google Play Music got updated. We got a calendar update. The Google Admin app for Google Apps was released. All kinds of Google stuff happened outside of Android 4.3. But the new Gmail is official. It's just not available yet. So
It's-
Google finally
it's-
announced. Yeah. So
It's-
Google finally announced this new Gmail, and it's exactly what was rumored by the Next Web over the weekend. It's got new categories for social, promotions, updates, forums, and something else. Maybe main or something like that. So it's like an automatic way of organizing your inbox. So it's going to the web, which will start rolling out over the coming weeks, and then there's going to be new iOS and Android apps, which have these new categories included. But the new Android app has a new side navigation bar, and it looks slightly better. I don't know. Did you guys look at the pictures I posted up from the video?
Oh, yeah.
There's actually screenshots or screens of it. So it's got the side navigation bar with sort of a white or a really light gray side navigation bar. It still doesn't really look as pretty as the iOS app. Like, the iOS app has that black slide-out navigation.
I don't even like this new one. Like, I wonder, can I still use the old one? Like, I don't want promotions and social crap clogging up my email. I use this, like, for personal stuff. I don't need junk in there. You know, this seems like junk.
You just want your personal junk in there.
I just want personal junk. Junk that I subscribe to.
Junk that I know.
Yeah, my junk, not the other people's junk.
Yeah, you have a filter for Tim's junk. It's fine.
Ron, I don't want your junk all in my email. Come on, bro.
Don't put your junk on my junk, man.
Yeah, that's for Snapchat.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly
so either way, I just don't like the look of it. I like the sidebar.
Yeah,
Other than that, I'm not really not feeling this whatsoever. This looks nothing like kind of like the iOS version of Gmail. That is like a clean looking app. And this is just
not anymore, because now they got all those stupid filters in the sidebar over there now too.
Yeah, now you got junk. So I'm just saying, like, why can't they just
everyone's getting junk?
Yeah, can't they just stop like with the junk? I mean, really, that's the only way I can think of it.
Well, what I don't get is in the web version, you can apparently turn it off, so you can revert back, but I don't think that's possible in the apps. Unless there's a setting where you can turn it off. Yeah, we don't know, because they're still not available.
Or maybe if you turn it off on the web, it turns it off on your phone.
That would be way too smart.
Yeah, that's too easy. Not gonna happen.
I'm sure there'd be like a privacy claim for that or something.
Oh yeah.
Someone.
All right, I'm a big fan of these slide-out drawers. You know, in the they look really good, they function really well, but I still don't understand why in the YouTube app you can just slide it out, and in every other app that they're releasing, you have to reach all the way up to the top corners of the screen to get the thing. I brought this up last time they updated the Google Plus application because it was not consistent there.
Well, that's the only one that you're talking about that actually sucks. It's the Google Plus app. The rest of them you can all swipe out. Like the new Google Music, you can pull from the side, swipe it out. It's just Google Plus for for whatever reason Google Plus you actually have to reach up and tap that button. But yeah, the new Google Music you can, Drive you can. So they've standardized it on almost every app except Google Plus.
Okay, so my phone must be jank then because mine will not slide out.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I can do it on almost all these bad boys.
All right. Well,
you have to do
the
it
show.
from
I'm going to test this.
Yeah, which one are we referring to? What app are we trying here?
Google Music.
Google Music. So
Google Music, you can definitely do it.
You have to have it like all the way onto the edge.
Yeah,
okay.
from the edge.
It's alright.
Yeah.
Eric's a noob. He doesn't watch our videos.
Well,
It's
no,
okay.
on YouTube you can just grab anywhere down the middle of the screen and pull, and it'll pull the sidebar.
Right.
Which is totally different.
Yes, some are different. Yes,
Yeah.
you're right. You're absolutely right. On Google
so that's
Music,
my
I didn't even know it did that. By accident, I swiped all the way from the left of the screen, and it came out, and I was like, oh,
Alright.
cool.
The only reason you shouldn't be able to swipe from anywhere is if you have some sort of a gesture in there. So like in Gmail, it makes sense to do it from the edge because you've got all the swipe gestures. But like Drive, there's no swipe gesture, so you may as well be able to do it from anywhere.
See, in Hangouts too, you can just grab anywhere on the screen and pull, and you don't have to be at the edge. So.
Oh, really? Is that anywhere? Because I thought if you did that, it's swipe well.
Well, if you're in a conversation and you pull anywhere, it'll open it up. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it does.
It's just a little thing that I was.
Well, yeah, it's just because it has the conversation on the side there.
Yeah.
If you swipe in the middle of it, it'll archive a conversation.
Yeah.
So it's like Gmail from that perspective. If you're looking at your conversations.
So
yeah,
I
Google
retract
Plus
my
is
earlier
the
statement.
terrible one.
I'm stupid.
Yeah. No, you're not. It's
No,
Google
you're not.
Plus.
It's
stupid.
right.
That kind of thing doesn't make sense. Like in Drive, you should just be able to do it from anywhere, but you can't. So that's a little weird.
You're not stupid, bro.
All right. I retract the stupid statement now.
Thank you.
But yeah, so the new Gmail, that's what it looks like. You can see it at the site. There's pictures of it from that promo video. It's just not out yet. They said in their press release or their press note for it that it could be a couple weeks, but I think they told like The Verge or something it's going to be a couple days. So it could be tonight for all we know. It could be tomorrow. It might be Friday. But Gmail app's coming. We just don't have it yet. So I'm interested to see if there's anything else in there because it seems like a big enough update that there's going to be some other little nuggets hidden away or something. So yeah, Gmail.
Google's all about their nuggets hidden away.
Yeah, they are. Well, speaking of sort of hidden nuggets, in the That sounds kind of weird, huh?
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
It's okay. Sorry, we're gonna put that in the same place as the boom room.
Boom room with Tim Junks.
With Tim Junks.
With Tim Jones.
Did you just say Tim Jones?
No, Tim Jones. Tim
Junks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hashtag Tim Junks.
Anyways, speaking of, I'm not gonna say anything nuggets again. In the promo video for the new Gmail, if you look up in the, and actually it's probably in those screenshots. So if you look up at the notification bar, it says 4:30 as the time. So in the past, at least all the way up through 4.2, every time Google releases a screenshot that's on a new app or something, it's a picture of the time that's running whatever the current version of Android is. So it'll say 4:20. So if you look at the screenshot they included in the blog post, it says 4:20. But if you go into the video, it says 4:30. So it's almost like they're either waiting for 4.3 to announce or release this new Gmail, or they just screwed up and they weren't able to fix that. So that sort of leads us into our next topic, which is Android 4.3, which is still not out, which still wasn't announced at Google I/O. But we saw it. We saw it last week, right? On a white Nexus 4 in like Thailand or something like that.
Yeah,
I seen it. I seen it.
It was at a trade show, and some dude just randomly walked up, and here was a Nexus 4 sitting there, and he started playing with it, and it has Android 4.3 running on it. And the only things that he was able to show anybody was a new camera UI, which so if you like press in the middle of the screen now, it doesn't just do a circle of features. You can actually see everything. It actually does it above your finger, which is kind of nice. Other than that, was there anything that I'm missing that they showed? It was nothing else new, right?
No, they didn't show anything else new.
Yeah, so we don't know if that was it, or if that's all the guy could find, or what was going on there. But Android 4.3 in the wild on a Nexus 4 in Thailand, of all places. So I don't know. It's probably coming out in the next week or so. At least, what was the rumor that Taylor from Android Me said? June 10th or something like that?
Yes,
yeah.
June 10th.
Yeah, so we don't really have anything else to say about it other than it's probably coming soon.
It might be coming soon.
Yeah, the build number was JWR45B. That's kind of it. It sounds like it's going to be pretty minor. Otherwise, we would have... Because in the video, you can see the guy jump through like the app drawer and a couple other screens, and nothing stands out as being out of the ordinary. So,
which is probably good, because most of that stuff works fine. So,
yeah. Are we running out of things for Google to fix? Do we just need them to... Actually, it's interesting. I was listening to somebody talk about Google I/O the other day, or read something. I can't remember who it was from. But they talked about how I/O, instead of them announcing 4.3, it was almost a bigger deal that they announced all these services that are now outside of this Android system. So like we have Hangouts, because like Google Talk used to be baked in. Like now we have Hangouts, and we've had like Gmail's been pulled out, but like Calendar, they're updating outside of it now. So they have like all these new apps. So like Google Play Music obviously is outside of it. So it's like they can continue to update all of their key Android features all the time to keep those current for all Android devices. And then 4.3 and the new stuff, it's still going to be probably on Nexus devices first, but it's not as important to have the newest build of Android as long as you have all of their new other services updated quickly. I thought that was kind of an interesting point.
I think that's great. I think it's Google's way of trying to make sure that everyone is kind of like running the latest stuff. I mean, now that we have Hangouts through Google Play, Gmail's handled through Google Play, and more apps are being handled through Google Play, I think it's Google trying to like help consumers, in that aspect of like, we know that carriers might suck at getting updates out, so we're going to help you the best we can, kind of thing, maybe. In terms of 4.3 being mediocre or major, I don't know. I have no comment. Who knows? I'm so mad.
Nothing's confirmed.
Well, yeah.
Why are you mad at
I don't
Google?
even have
What did they do?
What didn't they do, Eric?
They killed the Nexus Q. No 4.3.
Yeah, no Google Music for the Nexus Q. They really killed it.
Yeah, they did straight up just put the axe to that thing. I'll give you that.
Yeah, they screwed the 200 people that actually have one. It's ridiculous. Me being one of those people. It's no good.
Me being one of those too, damn it.
Yeah. so it's no good. Yeah. Other than that, I don't know. I want Google Glass. I mean, I didn't get to talk about Google I/O last week, so my minor
just go off.
Yeah, my minor rant from Google I/O is that they didn't give me nearly as much stuff during the keynote as I thought they would, and I don't mean it in terms of goodies. I don't mean in terms of goodies.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm talking hardware. I'm talking like apps. I'm just talking everything in general. Really, I wasn't wowed at all. Billy Idol is old, and that's it. So I loved Google I/O. That is always like the best time, but I just wasn't wowed like I was like say the previous year. I mean, come on, they were throwing Nexus 7, Galaxy Nexus, Nexus Q, and stuff was coming left and right, and this year just wasn't the same, you know. But
All right, so talk about Google Glass, because I kind of said my piece on it last week, but you saw it on everyone. You tried it on. What did you think about Google Glass after spending a week at I/O with 1,000 people wearing it?
Yeah, well, I think I told you as soon as we walked out of the door from trying it, we both looked at each other and we were just like, yeah, we're over it, because it's just not as cool as anyone is trying to hype it to be. Like you put it on, and of course the one we tried on wasn't fitted for us, so we kind of had to look at it awkwardly to kind of see the screen. But I mean, and people say it looks like you're looking at a big screen TV in your eye or something, but no, it doesn't feel like that at all. Like I feel like I had to squint in order to see what was going on. Everything kind of sucked. It just looked really lame. You know what I mean? Like I wanted the interface to be a bit more interesting, but it was just black and boring. Like that can always change. But as far from what I played with, I wasn't very impressed. And I'm like the biggest Glass fanboy ever, and I've never even like touched it. So having touched it now, I can say that I'm kind of over it. In terms of what the consumers might see when it comes to the market, you know, I know this is all dev unit stuff. Who knows? I mean, I'm open to whatever Google may bring or offer. So yeah, Google Glass. But other than that, Kellen looked just as funny as he thought he would while wearing it. And so basically, his points were kind of like they were like validated. And so I was like, damn, you do look like a nerd, and it's kind of a bummer, just because it's something so new, and I still will not call it the Segway of our time or whatever. Like it's not a Segway. I think it's much cooler than a Segway. But
I don't know about that, but
I still think it's cooler than a Segway. But other than that,
we're still gonna get somebody on a Segway wearing Google Glass.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, we saw both in San Francisco. We just didn't have them together. So
no, not together. If we could get one of us on a Segway with Google Glass,
that's it.
A Bluetooth headset in at the same time.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think we just have to retire.
It's too much.
But so, do you see yourself when we get some Google Glass units someday when they become retail, because we're not paying the ridiculous amount for a dev unit? Could you see yourself like wearing that?
Yes,
after seeing all those people, you could. Okay.
Yeah, only in the right situation though. I will not take it out in public because I don't want people coming up to me. I'm already like antisocial in public scenarios. You know, like I don't like people being all up in my space.
Doesn't seem like you at all.
Yeah, right. Well, online I'm a butterfly. But so if I have people coming up to me, like looking at my face, being like, I'd be like, "What's your problem?" So I just no, I won't take Glass in public. I could see it like around my family time, maybe Christmas time when like presents going on, special circumstances and occasions. But I'm not just going to go outside and wear Glass. No. Not gonna happen.
All right. Anything else from I/O that you want to toss out there?
Nothing from I/O. I don't even really have anything from CTIA. That was just.
Oh, that's right. You were at CTIA.
I was, yeah.
JLo.
JLo she's still hot, man. She's still looking good.
Yo, but we were talking last week. She can't read off a teleprompter to save her life.
No, she can't, unfortunately. It was really awkward.
Gosh.
It was just so awkward. So you have a room full of press people. So we're all like outside, and I was like one of the first people in line. And we're all just kind of like chit-chatting about what we think is going to come. And we're all pretty sure that the HTC One is going to get announced for Verizon. And I had like all the like big names. Burge is there. Engadget's there talking HTC One, and then we go in there and we were all just like blown away, in like the wrong way, basically. When Marty brought out JLo, we were just like, okay, there's still time. Maybe they'll announce it after this JLo's crap is over. But then then it ended, and we were just. I had one guy who was really kind of like, he was very obnoxious because he kept laughing, and whatever JLo was saying, he was laughing, and I was like, hey man, you mind like stopping? I had to like tell him to stop laughing, and that's like a bad sign if you got press people who can't even stop laughing at whatever it is you're doing. And JLo just did not want to be there. She didn't even know what she was talking about. And we were all just kind of like offended because I mean it's like she kept saying the modern Latino, and it was just like it was just so awkward and so weird, and yeah, it was just
borderline racist and
borderline.
Yeah,
It's like it's segregation basically because I don't know, because the guy who was next to me was black, so he's like, well, what about the black carrier? Like, we like to shop too, and we got tons of kids, and so it was just like, what is going on here? Yeah, so who knows? And she said that Latinos like social networks and all this stuff. I was like, what are you doing? We all like social networks. It has nothing to do with what race you are. It's so ridiculous. I mean, I see where she's coming from, but I don't think she knows exactly what she's doing.
Oh, she knows. She's getting that money. She knows.
It's gonna fail. It has to fail, or else there's something wrong with this world. That's all.
I think we had a number of readers in the comments say, like, this thing's going to fail before the first store ever opens. And they might be right. Well, they'll probably open one, like in New York, and then the rest.
They'll open the NY one. They'll have some cool launch. JLo will do a performance or whatever. Pitbull will probably be there.
Oh, he will.
Yeah, and he'll hype it.
Oh, man.
And then it'll fail.
I can see it already.
1 month later, it's going to be boarded up, sprayed, tagged, and stuff. It's going to be awesome. That's it.
Yeah.
And then I came home. Disappointed.
Then you came home. At least you got to hang out in Vegas for a couple of days.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
No. All right, so back on sort of track here. White Nexus 4 official. We can stop talking about it now. Everyone can stop going, does it have LTE? Does it have 32 gigabytes of storage? No, it doesn't. Just HSPA plus White Nexus 4. It's coming out soon. I think it launched in Hong Kong yesterday or today. It'll come everywhere soon. So if you haven't bought the black Nexus 4, feel free to buy the white one. If you own the black one, probably no reason to buy the white one. Same damn phone. Let's talk about Google Edition phones for a second. I don't know if we touched on this much last show or if at all, but HTC, well, they haven't actually confirmed anything. Again, it's not confirmed or whatever you guys say.
Whatever you
kids say.
Yeah, we said it a million times. You cannot get it. That's okay.
You kids and your phrases.
That damn internet.
There's been a couple of reports that say it's imminent, it's coming. I think Pocket Lint even said it's going to be super limited supply. Like they're only going to make 50,000. So good luck getting one. It'll be stock Android. No one knows if it's going through the Google Play Store. Kind of would doubt it at this point. So it'll probably be sold from HTC directly, stock Android. Who knows if it'll get updates really quickly or not, because if it's being sold by HTC and not Google, we don't know if there's any real connection there. But it could be stock. LG, on the other hand, said, well, first of all, they said, we're not making the Nexus 5, so stop talking about it. But then they also said, we're not interested in making Google Edition phones because we really like our Android skin. And it helps us differentiate, and we have no interest whatsoever in doing what Samsung's done and what HTC is reportedly doing. So what do you guys think about Google Edition phones? Do we need them? Obviously, Samsung's got one coming for sure in just a couple of weeks or 3 weeks or something. But what about HTC making one or LG not making one now? But do you guys are you guys interested in Google editions of phones at all?
I'll go first.
We got some mixed responses there. Tim, yeah, go for it.
I say no, only in the sense that you cannot take a flagship device that was built for one particular OEM skin and then just de-skin it and say, okay, Google Edition, because now I'm stuck. Say if I have the S4 Google Nexus Experience Google Edition, then I'm stuck with this huge home button, the setting button's a back button, and that's not what Android is to me. Pure Android means, built nav buttons, black border, white buttons, all that stuff. I don't
screen
want this.
buttons.
Thank you. So like,
Whatever the kids are calling it.
yeah, those damn
Whatever
kids.
you guys call them these days.
So that's how I feel. Plus, like the HTC One, if that thing was a Google experience, I mean, you're still stuck with like a big HTC logo down there, home button on the side, back button there. You're just that's just not what it is to me. So I want Nexus Experience or Google Edition devices to be built around Android. You know what I mean? And that's not what these devices are. I like the idea. I love it. Although it would need to be like way cheaper. Like if I'm going to pay full retail, then it's just not my style. So that's all I can kind of think of. Is that the phone was just not built for stock Android. So I just don't think, there.
Yeah.
And also, say you got a 13 megapixel back-facing camera on this thing, and then you're going to take away all the software that actually makes it good? Come on, what are you doing? So unless Google has some like trick up their sleeve to actually make their camera software good, no offense Google, but like it's not that good. So if they have something that'll make it take good pictures, then I'm all for it. But
Maybe they'll update the camera software in 4.3 beyond just the UI. Maybe they'll actually take good pictures. But so far, yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, the Nexus 4, I mean, that's what I think of when I think of, like, Nexus phones, obviously, and the camera. I've said it, before, like, the camera is just really bad, in my opinion. Everything's blurry, and ugh. So, we'll see. So, yeah, that's my opinion.
Yeah. Eric, are you interested in these at all? Like an HTC One Google Edition or something?
I would be. I'm in the market pretty soon here to buy a phone, and stuff like this interests me. I'm really enticed by the idea of an HTC One with just stock Android on it, and if it gets the updates like Samsung said it would, if it gets Google Timeline, all this kind of stuff, that would be enticing. I don't see a problem with it if they sell it through Google Play, because if the general public is still going to be walking into Verizon and seeing the HTC Sense, they're going to be seeing the TouchWiz, they're going to still have that. But for the people that want the Nexus experience, they can go to Google Play and get it that way. I see it as diversifying, and I don't think there's a downside to it, to be honest, other than the price might be a little high for some people. But for people that really want that, they can go to a certain place and get it, and then the companies can have their OEM skins, for the general public. So I don't have a problem with it. I don't think this HTC One is real. Like, I still am pretty suspicious about it, but I would be really excited if it was.
Yeah, that whole navigation button thing with HTC One would drive me nuts, I think, on stock Android. It drives me nuts now.
It would absolutely drive me nuts.
If it's unlocked and it's just stock Android, you can have access to the kernel, and that'll be fixed within like a couple minutes.
No.
Yeah, but like out of the box, I don't even know how it would work, to tell you the truth, out of the box.
Yeah, that's true.
You have home and back, but I don't know how, because HTC had to build in the double tap to get to, I think that's multitasking, and long press to get to Google Now. Like, I don't know that stock Android would even know what to do with it. You would just have home and back and be screwed, I think. You would.
There's a lot of reasons why I don't think this Google Edition exists.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Ron,
you make good points, Ron. Eric.
Ron, you interested in any of that Google Edition stuff?
No.
You have to be interested in Android to begin with.
Is that the first prerequisite? Yeah, I think. I mean, the biggest thing for me is just trying to figure out why Google and Samsung are making a Google or Nexus Edition, whatever the name ends up being, of the S4. I don't think that makes a lot of sense for anybody. It's pretty expensive unlocked, about as expensive as you would get if you were buying one from a regular carrier, off contract. So you're not really getting any advantage there. There are ROMs for all of those that'll get you to close to stock. And let's be honest, most people aren't putting on a straight stock ROM. They're putting on CyanogenMod or something else like that. So I don't think that that's a big issue. You're losing Samsung's the camera stuff, which every single stock phone has had a lousy camera, and I don't think we can totally blame it on the sensors at this point, since it's been every single one.
Right.
So there appears to be some sort of a software issue. Whenever I have a stock ROM on my phone, I definitely have some issues with the camera compared to when it's, with the software from the OEM. So, I mean, there are all those things to consider. I think, I don't know. It just the biggest thing is just why would Google want to partner with these guys to put out basically stock ROM versions of them? Like, what's the advantage for anybody? Why wouldn't you just pay for it on contract? You're going to get it for cheaper. You're probably going to have the phone for about 2 years anyway, and if you're not, then you're going to be buying them off contract anyway. So,
well, I've heard so many people up to this point say, "Oh man, if I had this phone without this custom skin on it, it would be fantastic." And I feel like it's Samsung doing, fan service, saying, "Here, you guys bugged us and asked for it and said TouchWiz sucks, so here you go. This is exactly what you wanted." Granted, it is kind of a double standard. The people that are going to be buying these Nexus Edition or Google Editions or whatever are also the people that know how to make their regular phone into a Google Edition. So that's kind of a double standard to me. But to me, it's just like, this is what we asked for, and now Samsung has come out with it, and people are, all of a sudden against it.
I don't think this is what we asked for, though. What we really asked for is to have a sweet phone made by Google, designed by Google. Nobody likes the hardware of the S4. Basically every single review that I read said, "Hey, check out the One because the hardware looks a lot nicer."
Well, yeah.
So, I mean, this isn't really what we wanted. We didn't want an S4, that's, $650 off contract that only works on AT&T and T-Mobile's LTE, which AT&T, okay, you've got some LTE, but T-Mobile, you basically don't. If you're on Verizon, sorry. But you're going to buy one on contract anyway, and you'll root it anyway, and you'll put a ROM on it anyway. So I don't get why anybody would want to put an investment on there, from Google or from Samsung. Samsung probably doesn't care. But why Google would make this kind of fake announcement that nothing's really happened yet. We don't know anything else about it. So it just seems a little strange to me. I think it's kind of an interesting idea that Google is saying, "Hey, we want to put our Google experience out there," that they're talking about it that way. I think that's interesting. That they're even acknowledging the differentiation and that they think that they have their version that's better for whatever reason. But they're not going to push that hard because they don't want to mess with their competitors. So it's kind of a mixed bag there. I'm not really sure exactly why they did that. And we didn't see them talking about that, and that's what I'm more interested in. Not that they can do that. That's not surprising that they could do that or that they could convince Samsung to do that. It's more surprising that they're actually going to go forward with it, because are they going to try and sell these against the regular S4? Like, why do this? That doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, the whole situation's kind of confusing, and I think we touched on this a little bit last week, but it's just so unlike Google. While it's cool to put, stock Android experience because people do kind of ask for that, you didn't do it the Google way. You didn't do it at a ridiculously low price. You didn't make it as accessible as the Nexus 4 and all the other products they sell. So it's like, one of the things I think that bugs me is, like with the developer editions from Samsung and HTC and stuff like that, they're like, they have unlocked bootloaders and they're the option for those that like to hack. And it's like Google sort of saying, like, and Samsung, I guess, like this Google edition, this Nexus Experience Edition it's an option for those of you that want stock. Well, it's not really an option because most people on this planet don't pay $650 for phones. So you're giving people an option in like half-assed way. Like you're saying, here, there's your option where if you don't want it, obviously, if you don't buy this, obviously you don't care that much. No, that's not it. People don't want to pay $650 for most phones. So right. That part of it drives me a little bit nuts. But otherwise, I just don't get it. Like, I know that we do have a ton of readers. Like, every time a phone comes out, they're like, if this thing just had stock Android, kind of like Eric said, like a lot of our readers actually do sort of throw that out there. But now that we have that option, I don't know that I want, like Tim said, like I don't want like the Samsung home button and all that stuff. Like if Samsung made the S4 and then like wiped out their navigation buttons and gave us on-screen keys like Google sort of, pushes with their Nexus devices, it probably would be cool. You'd have their camera sensor, although yeah, the camera software on stock Android kind of sucks, but
yeah. And if you're on Verizon, the biggest carrier in the nation, you're stuck. You're out of luck. Sorry.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest issue of saying, the only reason I can think of that they threw the S4 on there with a quote unquote Google or Nexus Edition, whatever they end up calling it, is so that they can say, oh, we have a Nexus phone with LTE. Sorry, we jacked that up 6 months ago. But I mean, it's not good enough. I mean, we want it on the carriers that everybody's on. And when you say, hey, we've got it on T-Mobile and AT&T, okay, well now half the country is out of the conversation.
Well, I mean, that's not totally Google's fault. It's CDMA has really just thrown a wrench into everything right now. And
So negotiate with Verizon.
they don't want to.
Do the hard work.
Like I said, my conspiracy theory about Verizon and Google not liking each other is just, it keeps coming back up. But in a couple of years, when LTE is, the standard and we don't have CDMA anymore, I think that's when we're really going to start seeing these really cool, this phone is coming out on everything. You can get it through Google Play and run it on any carrier, blah, blah, blah. That's when I think we're going to start seeing interesting stuff like that.
Yeah, hopefully. But
Hopefully.
that's the thing though, is like just do the hard work, do the negotiations, get it done, get it on every single carrier, figure out the updates thing. I mean, if other companies do it, other unnamed companies that have fruit for a logo do it. So like,
How dare you?
Just figure it out and do it, or say, hey, you can wait for the OTA, but here's the download. Just download it, throw it on your phone. If you know how to do that, do that. If not, wait for it.
Yeah, negotiate. Too much work.
The bottom line that I seem to keep coming into is the price. And personally, I don't know the profit margins on a single phone or what that has, but I don't think we can sit here and say, oh man, this phone needs to be $400, and
No, that's fine. But give you a contract option then.
Well, I thought we didn't want contract options. I thought we wanted prepaid and freedom and all that kind of stuff.
Then give me that. That's fine. I mean, okay. No matter what you're entering into a contract, the point with the contract issue is that when you finish paying out the phone, that fee goes away. That's the issue with Verizon and everybody else. But give people an option to pay it off with their carrier. I mean, I guess people can throw it on a credit card, but I don't know that everybody wants to necessarily go into debt. So.
It just seems like a half-ass option. It's like these not carriers, but these manufacturers are throwing these out there to say like, here you go, but knowing damn well that most of these people aren't going to buy these things. So that's why I don't really get why they're doing them. Until they make them on contract or discounted prices or something, I just don't think they're going to move them. So I noticed somebody in the chat said that people in Europe buy phones that expensive off contract, but that's Europe, and like this Galaxy S4 Nexus experience is only coming to the U.S. for one, and people in the U.S. aren't accustomed to shelling out $600 for phones yet. There's not. We're all into the carrier thing. And,
yeah.
Plus, we're Android users. We're not even going to pay $1 for an app. You think we're going to pay $650 for a phone? You got it all wrong. If people could pirate phones, like there would be no market. So
you could pirate phones.
The other thing to consider too is that the prices. If you buy a phone, you can switch to basically any carrier throughout most of Europe, so you don't have that issue. So you can go to the lowest price, and their pricing plans for data and voice and everything else like that are dramatically cheaper than we see here. So that comparison doesn't work. There are too many other factors that mess that up.
Yeah. If Verizon just had a GSM network underneath their LTE, and you could swap phones between all three of the carriers, the game would be completely different. But the fact that CDMA is around and Verizon is very picky on who they work with and how they give those drivers out, throws a wrench in almost everything in the whole United States market.
And the fact that the FCC didn't nut up and say, hey, when you guys are doing LTE, it's got to be compatible all over the place. They decided not to do that, so now we're going to have to wait for the next version of networking, whatever 5G ends up being. We're going to have to wait for that and hope that the FCC decides to actually step up and do something instead of just sitting by and letting them split that up again, because that's not good for consumers. And they can say, oh, yeah, we agree that's not good for consumers, but until you actually do something about it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we have how many different LTE bands now, and we barely have any modems so far that can run on half of them. It's a mess. Yeah, there's still no real unlock. Well, we got the HTC One now here, which is technically an LTE unlocked phone, which will work on T-Mobile and AT&T, but yeah, it doesn't work on Verizon's LTE band, so stupid. All right, let's talk about Samsung. They're going to announce some phones at a London press event on June 20th. It's probably going to be, Tim, what is it going to be? The Galaxy Zoom and the
Mini? I did not
is
write
it the
this.
Mini, the Active? What?
Sorry, I did not write this.
Did Eric? Did you write this?
I didn't write it either.
Somebody did it today.
No.
Those are me.
No, you're talking about the specs. Like yesterday.
The specs.
Yesterday or over the weekend, Samsung announced that they were having an event in London. Okay, so you want the specs?
Yeah, the
Okay.
specs of the phones that we're probably going to see there. It's like that camera phone,
Right.
and like
Yes.
active.
Okay.
and
Well,
all
you were
that
talking
stuff.
about the events, and sorry I didn't look into it
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's.
I
in
think we're just
London, so-
assuming that these are going to be announced there.
So three devices: Samsung Galaxy S4 Mini, Samsung Galaxy S4 Active, and Samsung Galaxy S4 Zoom. The most interesting, of course, are like the Active and the Zoom. The Mini is just a small, dumbed down version of the S4, of course. So the Zoom features a 16 megapixel back-facing camera, although it's not as big as a Galaxy S4. It's only 4.3 inches, the display. And it's not 1080p or anything like that. It's nothing too special, just regular old HD, Super AMOLED. So yeah, it's got some crazy camera sensor, optical zoom, it's like 10 times. And then there's the Active, which is the water-resistant, dust-resistant Galaxy S4. So yeah, 3 devices.
Nothing
None
like
that really
crazy.
interests me.
Yeah.
But the zoom is kind of interesting, although why does anyone need to take like a 20 megabit picture on their phone and then the phone doesn't even feature LTE, so I made the point, like, how are you going to be
Sure.
sending these pictures if you're on like HSPA plus? God forbid this phone comes to Sprint, or else you're not doing any work with that camera.
It just probably won't come to the U.S. because carriers
Right.
here only want LTE phones, so it just means it won't come anywhere near the U.S.
Yeah,
It's what I don't get is like if you're gonna throw in this 16 megapixel camera and this 10x zoom and all this, why put it in such a low range phone? Like it seems like a waste.
it does seem like a waste. They should have put that 16 sensor in here, man. That would have been cool.
It's probably to keep the cost down.
Of course. Well, I mean, yes, 650 was pushing it, so they didn't want to make it 700. Ridiculous.
So that's happening in London on June 20th. We're not going to it because we don't feel like flying to London for the Galaxy Active, but it's streamed live, so we'll have it on the site. Everyone can watch along with us. But no, we're not going to go get our paws on these things. We don't really care.
I was going to be working on my English accent if we were going to be going. And
Just do all of your apps in an English accent.
Well, I was just going to watch a lot of Austin Powers, and then we would go over.
Well,
and I would just
that's a
be
good
like,
reference.
Yeah, that would
good
have been.
reference for the
yeah,
British accent there.
I would have been right there. Oh, this guy's from here. No.
Do we know that this zoom is in a phone body? Has that been
Well,
confirmed, or do we just have specs?
No, I mean it's pretty much confirmed just because everyone's saying it's a phone. Like no one said it's a tablet or it's a camera that wants to be a phone. You know what I mean?
So
Like,
it's not like the new Galaxy camera or something.
it's not like a baby.
Yeah, that's
it's not
what
a baby
that's
Galaxy
what it sounded like to
camera
me.
from what.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a baby Galaxy camera from what the speculation is. They're saying it's a phone with a big camera on it.
Well, and yeah, I mean, technically, the specs on that aren't even as good as this thing. Like, this has
Yeah.
like a quad-core processor and a really nice screen.
Well, yeah,
and
that's
all
what
that
I was
stuff.
saying. It might be for people that didn't want to spend the $650 on that thing.
Yeah, the overpriced Galaxy camera.
Yeah.
Yep.
That thing's awesome. What are you talking about?
So that's happening. We probably none of us will probably care that much. But Samsung did announce that they sold 10 million Galaxy S4s in just under a month, which is kind of crazy. Yeah.
Thank you.
HTC apparently said that they sold around 5 million ones. So while that's not anywhere close to what Samsung did, that's a pretty big number for
Yeah,
a
it is.
company that's about to die. So good for HTC. No clap for them, Tim. Come on.
Sorry, guys.
You're good for me.
Shout out to HTC doing
Shout out
big old
HTC.
things.
Yeah. So 10 million and 5 million. Pretty big. Pretty big.
That's
month
pretty
there
great
for-
considering HTC's problems. I think with getting the phone out in general, I think that's great. That's huge for them. They needed that. If anyone needed like a hero device, it was HTC. And I don't know if this is going to save them, but it's a good start.
Back before we knew what the Galaxy S4 was and the HTC One, no one was giving HTC a shot this year. They were like, man, Samsung's going to blow them out of the water, blah, blah, blah,
Well,
Just-
we said that they had to bring it,
Yeah.
and
brought
they brought it in 3D. I mean, they stomped the yard, like they brought it.
I think you mean they brought in either 3D.
Oh, my gosh.
Right.
You just
So-
referenced Stop the Yard. That made my night.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah,
5 million's a
HTC.
good number, though.
Five
it's a nice round number.
That's impressive.
Exactly. Well,
If
though,
it's
I mean, and that
true,
was
yeah.
Samsung was announcing that stuff, and that's even before Verizon, America's largest carrier, has it. I know that as soon as it went up on sale on Verizon, I had tons of friends and family going to buy it because it was like, if you buy one phone on Verizon, it has to be the Galaxy S4. So I know, that number went up at least 4 units after it went on sale.
It's
So-
kind of crazy though to think that Samsung now is like you just said, you had friends and family that were running out to buy their new phone.
Yeah.
It's like how the iPhone was for years, well, still is, but Android phones now, that's like the one. Like when they come out with something.
Yeah, but it's not the one.
I didn't mean to
It's
say the
Galaxy
one.
S4.
Yeah. That's like the phone to have or something. Anyway,
It is, absolutely. Thanks to Samsung's marketing and their billion-dollar strategy, they are really just doing
Thanks to the word
evil
Galaxy.
things.
Yeah. It's kind of not fair that they can just spend $1 billion on advertising to get it everywhere. Because like once it's like how Apple does it. Like they have so much money, they're like, we'll just spend $1 billion, and it doesn't even matter to them. But everyone else is like, I wish I had that. And there's like HTC spending like $100 million on advertising. You don't even see the HTC One very many places, I don't think. But the Galaxy S4 is everywhere.
Well, they HTC targets very specific times when they want to market a device. They just can't do it on as broad of a scale.
Right.
You know what I mean? When they want to market it, they pinpoint where they want to market. So, for example, we were at CTIA, and we had the HTC threw a little press party, and I was there, and and a couple of the people were talking about Samsung and just how they can throw money around, and they were like, and they make everything, and they're like, they even make milk. And it's just kind of like, it's kind of ridiculous how big they are, basically, in comparison to HTC. And they were just like, we just can't do it on that scale. So you just can't really compete.
Right.
So, yeah.
Every time I'm watching basketball or Sports Center, though, I'm seeing HTC One commercials. I'm not seeing Galaxy commercials.
Well, like I said,
Except for that
pinpoint.
new NBA style guy, which is just weird.
Exactly. You'll see it on certain programs, more so than not, but then on others you won't. Well, the Galaxy is more like spread out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think they just kind of, they pinpoint their markets, and they're trying to do the best with what they got. Boom sound, that would look good for someone who watches ESPN, who wants loud, macho stuff, and oh my god, who goes to rock concerts. Gotta have boom sound, so you can market it. I don't know. I was thinking of words like the Galaxy strategy, kind of like words that would rhyme for Samsung. I don't know. They spend so much money on marketing. You'd think they'd have sweet buzzword Galaxy strategy. That'd be cool. I don't know.
They do need
Galaxy.
to name their marketing campaign.
Yeah, I'm just kind of.
Yeah.
There's no logic behind it. They just buy everything. That's what it's called. Spend money.
Why not, man? Why not?
You got it. Spend it.
Yeah, wish Apple would do that. They don't really you would think Apple. I don't feel like they push their products as much as they could.
I will say that Apple's doing these new commercials that they're actually really cool. One of them was, can't believe I'm admitting this. One was it's like a bunch of people listening to music throughout the day, in all these different places.
Yeah, I saw that commercial.
And it just
yesterday.
says more people listen to music every day on their iPhone or something like that. But the commercials are really well done. They're not cheesy. They don't have stupid do 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 dumb beats in the background, all that white crap and text. It's stupid. They're real commercials. Those are actually really nice. There's 2 of them. I can't remember what the other one is.
The other one is pictures because they have them. If you go on Flickr, the iPhone's the most popular camera on there.
Oh, that's right. And it's well done too. It's a bunch of people taking pictures all over the place. Yeah, it's cool. Anyways, speaking of iOS, Mailbox coming to Android. I know nothing of Mailbox. Ron, you want to take it away?
Sure.
What is Mailbox like? Why is it so popular on iOS?
Mailbox is popular on iOS. It is cashing in on the whole Inbox Zero idea that was popularized by Merlin Mann. You can find his stuff on Kung Fu Grip, spelled with 2 P's and an E at Tumblr. But the whole idea is that just trying to get your inbox down to 0, and so they had originally done a to-do app, and they just kind of realized after that failed that most people use their email as a to-do app. So most people, when you get something in, you have some sort of an actionable item on it, or you don't have anything at all, so you just move on. So it's designed around a series of swipes. So as your emails come in, you can swipe them in certain directions, and it uses swipes a little bit differently than normal apps. So it's not just a generic swipe either way will do something. So it's slight swipe to the right will archive, all the way to the right will delete, slight swipe to the left will bring up a menu for you to say when you basically later for when you want to see it. So you can pick evening, the next morning, or whenever else. And then the all the way to the left is throwing it into a list in Gmail. So that's how it works. But it's
crazy popular, right? Like iOS users love the hell out of that thing, don't they?
Crazy popular.
It's popular. So and it's. I mean, I should just show it.
There was a wait list to download this thing, man.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
there was originally, yeah, and that was just because so the way that it works is your Gmail or your email hits the Gmail server, and then it goes over to their server. That's how they can handle all the notifications and all that junk. But so here's my current inbox, and if I just swipe over to the right a little bit, it has that little checkbox, and it'll archive it. So
reading your emails.
Yeah. So that's how it works. And if you archive everything, it's got a nice little. So there's your little inbox 0, and then if you tap on that, it'll show you the full picture. So it's got pictures every day from Instagram, which is so it's nice. Like another little encouragement to get to inbox 0.
Will they feature my Instagram pictures if I ask them to?
If it's pretty sweet, you might. I don't know. You could ask them.
But that's some pretty sweet pics.
Yeah. Of Loki.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it's coming to Android. Apparently, like the founder or whatever was sitting down in an interview and said, it's like next on our list because they just released the iPad version, right? And so he said it's next on our list of things to do. We will bring it to Android.
Yeah, and they got bought by Dropbox not too long ago too.
Oh, that's right.
That should help them. That should help them speed it up. You know what I mean? Yeah, it'd be great. As long as it looks better than this new Gmail app, I might use it.
Well, the iOS version of Mailbox, it does look really nice.
It does look very nice.
Yeah, and somebody in the chat is asking or saying that it's not very intuitive. I think it's very intuitive. It's the app that I use to handle my mail on my iOS devices, so it's just doing those little swipes. It's like in the Gmail app where you swipe and archive.
It seems more intuitive than the Gmail app. All we can do is archive and delete. I mean, he's talking like slide it to go into certain folders and all that stuff, or labels, you're saying?
It's not.
And then swipe up to show you at a different time? Come on, that's intuitive as heck.
Yeah, a little, and that like having it show you later is pretty nice. Like when I get my Verizon bill in my email, I'll just set it for the date, the day before when I need to pay it, and then it'll just show up in my inbox or whatever else.
That's cool. Like so, say for car insurance, like they send me a week before I'm gonna get my car insurance. They send you the reminder, hey, this is about to happen, and
and if you treat your inbox like a to-do list, you don't want that sitting there bothering you, saying, "Hey, you still haven't done this. You still haven't done this," when you don't want to take any action on it. So some people kind of bragged on it and said that, well, all you're doing is delaying your mail. But that's one way to do it. The other way to look at it, though, is just to say, "Okay, well, I'm going to put this. I'm going to show it to me when I can actually do something about it."
People are just negative. They're just negative.
Native Nancy's.
Delaying your mail. No, I just don't want to see it. What?
Take it away.
Yeah, take it away. Be going with him.
Not today, sir.
Very interesting. I'm stoked for that release.
It should be cool. So we have no idea when it's coming. It could be 8 months. It could be 2 months. We have no idea, but
it could be
it's coming eventually.
Could be never.
It'll be 8 months after Vine comes out on Android.
So how many months? Sorry.
I almost used a Carbon Twitter joke there, and then I remember that actually came out.
Oh yeah, how about that app? We were down there for I/O. Kellen talked me into finally getting what was it, Carbon or whatever? Falcon.
No, Falcon. Yeah.
Okay, because I've used Carbon and I use the official Twitter application because I like being official. And then so I was like, okay, cool, I'll download it because I saw him using Falcon. And I was like, that looks pretty good. So I download it and. I use 2 accounts. I use my own personal account. I need the Droid Life account on there as well. And then I found out that the app does not support multiple users. And so I hit the refund button immediately. And I was like, what is this? Because why would there not be multiple account support?
Such a cheap Android user.
No. Hey,
I don't know why he doesn't have multi-account support.
It doesn't have one feature I want, refund.
It needs the one feature I need.
Did you leave a rating right before you did the refund?
1 star.
1 star until you got this feature.
Refunded, idiot.
Yeah, I'm surprised that I had no idea it wasn't in there, and so when you were like thumbing through, I was like, it's got to be in there. Like every Twitter app has multi-accounts now, except Falcon apparently.
Just use 2 apps.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Can't wait.
How often are you really reading through the Droid Life app feed?
Well, not on my phone. Anytime that I'm not on the computer.
Mm-hmm.
So
No, it
that's
sounds like it's a really big problem for you. So
well, technically, it kind of is.
it's a good thing. It's a good thing you got that refund.
It is. I needed that $2 because now I can go
But
buy two other apps. That
Oh,
might work.
that segues perfectly into our apps.
It does. Let's talk about apps and games.
Apps and games.
Tim, it looks like you have a few. What do you got for us?
Yeah, I got a nice little list. I'm gonna start it off with Duolingo. So it launched either today or sometime this week, and it's an app that helps people learn a new language, and they do it for free. How about that? So basically, they kind of make it to where it's
Suck
like
on
a
that,
game.
Rosetta Stone.
Damn right. So yeah, you won't see these guys in the mall peddling it. But either way, so it's an app you open up and you can learn like German, French, Italian, Portuguese, Spanish, French. Did I say German? So either way, you can learn those languages, and they start you off very simple. They start you off with nouns, and they work you up to simple sentence structure and verbs and blah blah blah. I mean, they really, they do really well, and they do it kind of like in a game. Not really like a game, but to where it's kind of you memorize that part, then they quiz you on it, and if you get it wrong, you lose a heart. And then I have this feeling that if you run out of hearts, I don't know, I'm really good at it, so I haven't ever ran out of hearts. But possibly if you run out of hearts, they might charge you. I don't know, to buy more hearts. I mean, I wouldn't see that being. I would see them being able to like make money off this. I don't know why they don't charge for it. Like I would gladly pay 99 cents for this app. I don't get it. So maybe someone out there can explain to me why it's free. But either way, it's Duolingo, completely free, like I said, and you can learn a new language. I mean, everyone should just be doing that. Why aren't we all like bilingual, trilingual, quadlingual?
What language are you working on right now?
German.
Oh God,
Let's hear some
the
German.
ugliest language.
I don't know any German. I mean, I know.
I thought you were really good at this and had all your hearts and everything.
I know how to say like man, woman, boy, and it's nothing like special because I'm on like level 1, bro. I have a sister that lives in Germany, so if I want to go over there, I want to learn some German. So
Right, and be like, hey man.
hey man, hey boy,
Hey, woman.
hey girl, yeah, Frau, ein Frau. That's hey woman. Either way, so I want to get beyond Duolingo. Duolingo. It's on Google Play. Go pick it up. My next, it's a game. It's actually fun. It's called Men's Room Mayhem, and it's 99 cents through Google Play. And basically, it's kind of like those air traffic controller ones where you drag the plane onto the runway without having all the planes crash into each other. So this one, it's in a bathroom, and you got guys piling in, and you got to get them to the urinals or into the the toilet areas.
That's the technical term.
Yeah. Damn
Toilet
you,
area.
Ron. Yes.
Bathroom stall, is that what you're
Yeah, stall. Thank you, man. I was thinking of like a toilet cubicle. So
I think you're thinking of your home office.
right. Thank you. So you guide them in, and then so from there you go to the wash their hands, and you get bonuses for washing their hands. You don't have to, but you get bonus points if you wash their hands. And then so from there you take them outside, and it's a pretty fun game.
You forgot to mention that everybody that goes to a urinal is wearing Google Glass.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I can't confirm that that's true, because as soon as they get up to like the little urinal, it starts blurring out the little action, because that would be too much to see a little yellow stream going on this game.
Right.
This app doesn't make any sense to me. I can't remember the last time I went into a guy's bathroom and there was like a backup. Like that doesn't happen.
Have you ever been to a stadium event? Or
Yeah, but even
like
then, I mean, we know how to get our things done.
Well, that's because this is not real life. This is a game, and these people need help. And I'm
Okay.
glad.
You're
glad
the man to help them.
Yeah, well, I help them for 99 cents. And I suggest
For 99 cents a pop, I will guide you to the correct urinal.
Damn right. Yes. Sonic the Hedgehog is my last app of the day. It's a game. I mean, this is like OG Sonic. If you played it on, yes. Shocker alert. So it was on Sega Genesis way back in the day. Me and Ron were talking about it. It does the whole
1991.
Sega. It does everything. And
Yo, play it for him.
Team Sega Genesis
sell
or
it.
Team
Too much work.
Nintendo?
Sorry.
Team Genesis or Team Super Nintendo?
Genesis.
Genesis.
Super
for
Nintendo.
What? That's why me and Eric don't get along, dude. I just knew it.
He's just hanging out, playing Zelda.
Dude, Genesis all the way, bro.
Genesis.
No, it's not gonna do it.
It's
Damn.
not gonna do it. So either way, this is like Sega. Like I don't really like all their Sega, Sonic games that they put on Google Play, but this one is legit. It is Sonic the Hedgehog. I beat it through. It's amazing. And then so once you beat it with Sonic, then you can beat it with Tails, and then you can get to Knuckles, and it's just great. It's $1.99, I think, is the best $2 I've ever spent. Way better than $2 I spent on Falcon.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You got your money back and put it right into Sega.
Put it right back into Google Play. So, support those devs.
Yeah, man.
And so Sonic the Hedgehog, Men's Room Mayhem, and Duolingo. That's it. I'm outie.
Peace. Drop the mic.
Yeah,
Walk out.
my throat hurts now.
So for
Put Loki on.
those of you that are admins for Google Apps accounts, which is like the business side of Google's apps, like Gmail and all that stuff, there's a new app called Admin or Google Admin, and you can sort of barely just manage your Google Apps users' accounts. Like you can suspend them, change passwords, call them, email them, shut them down, bring them back to life, that kind of stuff. It's actually a nice little app. It doesn't have a lot of features, but it's called Google Admin. It's free, of course. It's from Google. That's the only app I have. You guys have any other apps?
Nope.
Other apps.
Negative.
Slacking off.
Motorola. Yeah, Motorola actually just released a press release for their for Dennis Woodside's announcement. It just says Moto X, the first smartphone assembled in the USA. It's actually kind of cheesy. It says there are more than 130 million smartphones in use in the USA
here it
today,
comes.
and not one of them was assembled. ... Here until now.
Is there really an ellipsis?
They're
in the
gonna
press
play
release?
this up so hard.
Oh yeah, it says there not one of them was assembled here. Pause. Until now. That's how it's
Cue
actually
the
written.
cue the
Yeah.
Inception noise. Wah! No, like seriously.
but
they
instead
keep
of one,
playing this up.
Droid.
Oh,
Yeah, there was a
a good
hashtag
one.
droid at the end. So it says we're reinventing Motorola through a portfolio of products, starting with Moto X, a new flagship smartphone that will be designed, engineered, and assembled in the USA. We're not talking about just a handful of units either. And then it says available this summer. Every Moto X sold in the US will be assembled in Fort Worth, Texas. So is it before October or is it this summer? That's
Wait, it says available this summer?
Yeah, it says we're not talking about just a handful of units either. Available this summer, every Moto X sold in the U.S. will be assembled in Fort Worth, Texas.
Wonder if that was a typo.
they make it sound like
You think
Well, I
they
think there's
they
a
didn't
couple
even.
of typos.
They haven't even
Couple of
started
typos.
production yet, but yet
Right.
they say that it's going to be available this summer.
Well,
Yeah.
like the date they put on this press release says May 28th, and today's the 29th.
Yeah, well, I wonder if they meant starting this summer, every Moto X made will be.
Oh,
Yeah, it's,
That would
it's
make a
kind of
lot
weird.
more sense.
It's kind of weird wording. I'll email them and find out what the hell they meant by that.
We need to break into the facility. Maybe we should talk
Yeah.
about this off the air. But
Yeah.
So we don't.
we're breaking into Moto. We're gonna get
Yeah.
the X phone.
Yeah, so that's kind of like all it says. It just says they'll create a leaner supply chain using this. Their engineers and designers can get to a U.S.-based plant easier and all that stuff. There's no other
Isn't
details,
that
but it
pretty
does say
exciting?
available this summer. Yeah.
That's pretty exciting.
What is pretty exciting, exactly.
This device. Now I'm excited.
You don't know, it doesn't say anything else about it. You don't know
Yeah,
anything
that-
about it.
No,
this
it's
is a
totally
whole press
real now.
release that
This
says
is-
nothing.
All
This
you know is that
changes
Motorola wants to get it in your
everything.
pocket. They want to get in your pocket bad.
This is game changer.
Bro, it's open. Yeah, this is game changer. It's made in America, bruh.
Oh,
The
there's
last
even,
thing
like-
that I have that was made in America is the
It's
Nexus
now
Q,
dead.
and that thing is awesome.
And it's
I mean,
now
it
dead.
doesn't- Yeah, it doesn't work.
Rest in
It-
peace.
It feels fantastic. It's the best
So-
doorstop ever.
This press release also includes a link to their job openings at this new plant. So Flextronics is their is who makes most of their phones, and Flextronics is doing the hiring for this.
Oh my god. By the way, if you enjoyed our press release, please come work for us. We don't have any workers yet.
Seriously,
Oh
it's
my
kind of
god.
Yeah, who's gonna be looking at the press release going, I
What?
was looking for a job, but I stumbled onto this press release.
right, yeah, who looks at a press release? Yeah, for a job. It seriously says, if you're interested, we encourage you to check the
Don't.
available positions and apply.
Yeah.
I'm applying.
Don't look for the classifieds or anything else like that. If you want to find a job, you got to scour
Tim,
press releases.
Get a job and do some investigative reporting.
That's right. Well, I'm gonna have
Either
to
way,
fake a degree in engineering or something.
You know, put on some Google Glass and just walk in there and just start videotaping everything.
Yeah.
I'm trying
Don't
to look at
get
the
your
job
hands
list,
off
but
me.
the site is apparently slow. Anyways, I don't really have anything else. I'm just like reading this job postings and stuff now.
That's hilarious.
They've done that before. Moto's always looking to hire people. Come on, they're too busy laying off other people. They gotta keep hiring
You
others.
know who else
So
is looking
sad.
to hire people? HTC.
I don't know if we talked about that, but HTC is apparently in turmoil or something.
No,
Disarray.
they're
That
in
was
disarray. Yes, I love that word. Disarray.
Free fall.
HTC is in disarray.
Poor HTC. They just
Whatever.
can't catch a break.
Yeah.
Sold 5 million ones, allegedly. All right, that's all I got. Unless you guys have anything else you want to talk about. No.
No. I think no, it's good. It's great to be back, guys. Good job.
It's good. It's good to have you back. Welcome back.
That's what I was hoping to hear.
We'll probably have a show next Wednesday. Tim and I have a little trip on Tuesday. Did you sign like an NDA for that, or can we talk about that? Probably can't talk about that.
No, we
Anyways.
can talk about that.
There's a trip.
I didn't sign
We'll be in
anything.
and out next Tuesday, but Wednesday we'll be back, so we should have a show.
Oh yeah, there'll be a show.
We'll be ready to do another show.
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I don't have anything else, so we'll just cut it off there. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, we can
Enjoy my
talk about
show.
that, but we're not going to talk about it.
Well, you know, just in
And
case.
scene.
It's better safe than
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, we're better
that's a good
play it
idea.
safe with that
That's a good
one.
idea.
So, yeah, anyways, Droid Life Show, episode 26. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.